Thanks, gentlewoman, and recognizes the gentleman from Ohio, Mr. Jordan, for 5 minutes.
I thank the chairman and thank Chairman Goodlatte for having this important hearing today. John Koskinen had several duties. He breached every single one. He had a duty to preserve documents under subpoena. He had a duty to produce those documents that were under subpoena. He had a duty to disclose to Congress if he couldn't preserve and produce those documents that were under subpoena. He had a duty to do that in a timely fashion. He had a duty to testify accurately. He had a duty to correct the record if, in fact, he testified in an inaccurate fashion. He breached every single duty he had, and that's what Congressman Chaffetz and Congressman DeSantis have outlined for us all here this morning. No wonder the guy didn't show up. If I had that kind of record, I don't today either. I mean, never forget what happened here. The Internal Revenue Service and the power that it has over American citizens' lives systematically targeted fellow citizens for their political beliefs. They did it for a sustained period of time, and they got caught. And when they got caught, they did what a lot of people do when they get caught. They lied about it, right? Remember, May 10th, 3 years ago this month, May 10th, Lois Lerner, Bar Association speech here in town, trying to get ahead of the story before TIG is actually going to release the first report, not the one we're talking about today, but the first report, trying to get ahead of the story. The central figure at a Bar Association meeting has a friend ask a planted question, and Lois Lerner says what? Wasn't me, wasn't Washington, it was those folks in Cincinnati. Complete lie. 12 days later, May 22nd, she takes the fifth. Interestingly enough, the same day that the IRS tells themselves, preserve all documents. Same day Lois Lerner's taken the fifth, the IRS says preserve all documents. May 22nd of 2013. Now, when the central figure lies and then takes the fifth, it sort of puts a premium on getting the documents and the information in all her communications, right? And so then comes in Mr. Koskinen. And when he is hired, when he's confirmed, here's what the president said. We need, quote, new leadership that can help restore confidence going forward. That's what he was brought in to do. And I would argue, based on breaching all 6 duties he had, he's done anything but restore confidence. So under his watch, as we learned from the good testimony today from Mr. Chaffetz and Mr. DeSantis, what happens? He allows 422 backup tapes to be destroyed. When he learns about it, he waits 4 months before he tells us, the Congress, doing an investigation. He doesn't even know, and he doesn't even check on any other backup tapes that exist, because we found out there were 700 others that weren't destroyed that could have helped us. He didn't even check when he told us that some of these had been destroyed. Which leads us to the one question I have. And I want to thank the chairman again for this hearing and the second hearing that's coming. But, Mr. DeSantis, is the standard, in your judgment, is the standard for impeachment a criminal intent standard?
No, I think that's pretty clear. If you look at Alexander Hamilton in the Federalist, he said that impeachment was about the violation of public trust and that those offenses are inherently political as they relate more to injuries done to the society and the way the government works. And then Joseph Story, in his commentaries on the Constitution several decades later, said that these need to be thought of as political offenses growing out of misconduct or gross negligence or usurpation or other disregard for the public interest. And he said that they must be examined upon very broad and comprehensive principles of public policy and duty.
Gross negligence, dereliction of duty, breach of public trust, right?
Sure.
Mr. Chaffetz, you think Mr. Koskinen exhibited some gross negligence in his conduct over the last several months in trying to help us get to the bottom of this scandal?
Absolutely.
You think there was a dereliction of duty?
Yes.
It seems to me a dereliction of duty when you wait 4 months to tell Congress, right? His chief counsel knew in February of 2014 that there were problems and a gap in Lerner's emails, and he doesn't tell us until June. His chief lawyer knew, and he waits 4 months. And the reason he told us he waited 4 months was because he was doing his due diligence to make sure that actually happened. And part of that due diligence wasn't even checking to see if there were backup tapes available. I think that's dereliction of duty. And obviously, when you look at this, and here's the other thing, breach of public trust. Oh, my goodness. We just heard the Democrats talk about problems. They said the cybersecurity breach. We had GAO tell us the tax gap at IRS is $385. So they're $385 billion. Their fundamental duty is to collect revenue due the federal treasury. They can't even fulfill that, but they got time to target people and make sure they destroy backup tapes in the course of an investigation. I mean, for goodness sake, this is certainly breach of public trust, dereliction of duty, and negligence in gross form. Mr. Chairman, again, I want to thank you for this first hearing. Look forward to the second one, where we're going to have some experts, I believe, come in and talk about the standard that has to be met to get rid of someone who's conducted himself the way Mr. Koskinen has. But I thank you for this and look forward to the next.